Hey guys, this is Laura and I've got a 30-minute HIIT workout for you today. I'll keep it music free from my end, so please feel free to play your favorite playlist, whatever gets you pumped, whatever gets you through this workout. We've got 2 circuits that we'll do twice through, 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off with the exercises. Don't worry about the mat. I got the timer going, so you just need your mat and jump on it when you're ready to join me. Option to add a resistance band in the second circuit if you really want to amp this up and feel the burn. Come join me when you're ready. Let's get started in table. Hands underneath shoulders, walk the knees back underneath your hips, and cats and cows, taking deep breaths as you move the spine in all directions. Curling the tailbone under, and then arching the back. You can let it look a little bit weird, but make it feel really good. Just noticing any areas that might feel a little bit stuck and spending a breath or two there. From tabletop, make your way back to down dog. Walk the hands forward just a little bit. Fingers are spread wide, forearms are lifted. Tuck your toes and lift from the hips. Jog the legs out, letting the head relax between your arms. Keep pushing the mat away with hands, sinking one heel down and then the other. Look forward, step the right foot to the outside of the right hand, so towards the pinky finger, lower back knee down to the mat. You can put a cushion underneath that back knee if it's sensitive. Right hand on top of right thigh, roll right shoulder back. Opening up the front of that left hip, a little bit of a twist through the chest. Take another breath here. Right hand comes down, step it back to downward facing dog. Jog the legs out one more time. Shake the head out, yes and no. And other side, left foot steps around, left pinky finger, lower back knee to the mat. Keeping right hand where it is, left hand to left thigh, roll the left shoulder back, pressing firmly into the right hand. Let the hips melt low. You can even look over the left shoulder. Take a deep breath in and out. Bring your left hand down, step it back, downward facing dog one more time, a couple jogs through the legs. Then keeping a really springy bend in the knees, walk your hands towards your feet at the back of the mat, feet are hips distance. Hold on to opposite elbows as you let yourself dangle over your legs. Legs don't need to be straight here. Remember, soft bend in the knees, just finding some length through the low back. Release your fingertips down. Slowly roll up the spine to standing. Right away, reach the arms overhead. Big breath in. And then side bend over to your right. So right hand goes down, the left arm goes up and over. So this way. Come back through center, both arms up. And go to the other side. Left hand down, right arm curves over. Lift back up, breathe in. Soft bend in your knees and fly your hands, your chest, your head down to the mat. When the fingertips come down, walk yourself forward into a high plank. So the knees are lifted off the mat. We're gonna hold here for 3, 2, press back through the heels. And 1, you can let the knees touch down, lower yourself all the way down to the belly. Untuck your toes, take the fingertips out in line with the chest. Pushing up onto fingertips, big cobra, breathe in. Turn the left shoulder, the left ear down, look to the right, exhale. Come back through center, inhale. Turn the right shoulder, the right ear down, look to your left, exhale. One more time each side, inhale, center. Exhale, twist, dipping the left shoulder low. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist, dipping the right shoulder low. Come up through center, last time, big cobra, inhale. Exhale, roll it back down to the mat. Push back briefly to a child's pose. Stretch out the low back. The arms are reaching out. Let your forehead touch down. Let the butt sit heavy towards your heels. Breathe. Almost ready for our first circuit, guys. Let's make our way forward into tabletop. So first exercise of first circuit is pouncing push-ups. So we're gonna walk the hands slightly forward, like a palm's distance forward in your tabletop, and bring your elbows down to the mat. And I do want you to channel like a cat pouncing. So you're gonna lift the elbow, shift forward so the arms are straight, shoulders over the elbows, Then bend the elbows and do a tricep push-up. And we're gonna do the first round from our knees, rock back, elbows touch down. So push forward, shoulders over wrists, let the chest come forward, lower down to the mat, and push back up. So rocking the hips back and forth. Again, remember if the knees are sensitive, you can cushion them up, you can have a blanket, you can have a pillow underneath. The first exercise, those pouncing push-ups, we're gonna do for 45 seconds. Then we'll take a 15-second rest recovery period, and we'll move on to the next exercise. So here we go. Get in your pounce position, walk the hands slightly forward, then a true tabletop. Bring the elbows down to the mat. 3, 2, 1. Pounce forward and push back. So here we're working on our tricep push-up. We're really feeling the forearms work. And just remember, within these exercises of 45 seconds, it's just however many you can do. So you might see me taking breaks. You might need to take a break. You're pushing out as many as you can within 45 seconds, and it might be 3, it might be 10. Whew. Should be feeling the triceps now, so the backs of the arms. We've got 10 seconds left, guys. Keep the belly engaged by pulling the belly back to the spine. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Come all the way down to your bellies. Whew. Untuck the toes. So we'll get off the arms for a moment. Reaching the arms forward with the palms facing down. Wiggle the feet a bit closer together. Press through the tops of the feet. The feet will stay down. We've got cobra rows. Lift your arms to hover. Pull the elbows back towards each other. Lift your chest higher. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, 45 seconds. So I'm looking down at the mat, so my neck is relaxed. And remember to engage through the legs by pushing your toenails into the mat, but try not to let your feet lift. Every time you pull the elbows back, you're lifting your chest a little higher off the mat. Ooh. Keep breathing. So finding some upper back work, engaging the muscles in our chest. If you wanted to try this the second time through with some small weights in your hands, you can give that a try. We've got 5 seconds left, guys. Keep rolling it out. 3, 2, and 1. Whew, turn to one cheek. Let's flip it onto our backs. Reverse crunches coming up next. Bring the knees right away into your chest. Take the hands behind your head. Elbows wide. Curl your chest up off of the mat. We're going to touch the toes down. Bring the knees back in. Lift your butt. Here we go. 45 seconds starts now. Touch. Lift. So engaging not only the upper abdominals, but the lower abdominals as well. Now, if you'd like to make this more challenging, instead of keeping the knees bent, maybe extend the legs to hover above the mat, then you bend the knees and they pull them into your chest. Looking straight up. The fingertips are supporting your head here. Good, keep breathing. Last 15 seconds. Almost there. For 3, 2, and 1. Roll it back over onto bellies. We'll set up a forearm plank. So just watch for a moment here. Elbows are going to come underneath your shoulders. Measure out shoulder distance apart with your arms. You can either interlace the fingers or you can have the hands, something in my mouth, apart on the mat. Lift the knees off the mat. Here we go. 45 seconds starts now. Rock back and forth. So right onto your toe tips, then pressing back through your heels. Remember, if you want more of a stable forearm plank, you can interlace fingers, press your palms. Try not to let those elbows go wide. You can always take a moment to adjust and pull them back in towards each other. Breathe. If you need to do this at any point from your knees, you can. Whew. Keep tailbone tucking a little bit. Navel, your belly button is pulling up and away from the mat. Elbows driving into the mat. Ooh, almost like that pouncing sensation again. 3, 2, and 1. Let your knees come down. Roll the shoulders out. Breathe. Come on up to standing. Last exercise of the circuit before we do it all over again. We've got squat jacks. So it's exactly how it sounds. We're going to start feet hips distance, hug your knees, and then jump out to jumping jack. Come back to the squat. Let's go. 45 seconds. Starts now. Good. So there's a little bit of cardio in here. Now, if you wanted to take it to low impact, one foot steps out, hug your knees. The other foot steps out, hug your knees. But if you can explode both feet out, land really low. I'll show you from the side. Hugging knees, sticking the butt back, My weight is in my heels. Keep breathing. Whew. Even if you're doing the modification, you're still coming down into your squat. Last 10 seconds, guys. You got this. 3, 2, and 1. We got 15 seconds. Breathe. We're going to start all over again. Grab some water if you need to. We've got pouncing push-ups. Let's set it up from our tabletop. 3, elbows down, 2, 1, let's go. Pounce forward and back. Now those of you who feel comfortable lifting the knees off the mat, you're gonna float your knees, bend the elbows hover, and back and forth like this. So you will be passing through a plank position into a tricep push-up. Whew. But it's really hard to talk and do those, so I'm gonna keep my knees down. Keep breathing. If at any point you need to pause, catch your breath and come back to it, no worries. Last 10 seconds. And remember, we're gonna come down to our bellies for the cobra rows. 3, 2, and 1. Pull forward onto your bellies. Untuck the toes. Relax your chest for a moment. You're gonna reach the arms out in front of you. Remember, palms are facing down. Press through the tops of the feet so you feel the kneecaps lift. 3, 2, 1. Hover the arms, pull back like you're rowing. You might also try this holding a resistance band between your hands and pulling it apart. More work for the chest. Remember, guys, keep your neck really relaxed. You're looking down at the mat so that you're not craning the head, you're not straining your neck. Not only think about pulling the elbows back, think about pulling them towards each other behind you, so you're really squeezing the shoulder blades. If those legs have gone kind of dead, keep pressing through the toenails into the mat. Only 10 seconds left, then we'll flip it over for our reverse crunches. Last 3, 2, and 1. We'll take 15 seconds to breathe, to roll over. Get comfortable here on your backs, knees to chest, hands behind your head, pulling the belly to the spine, curl up, lifting head and shoulders off the mat, nose is pointing to the ceiling, and let's go. Tap your toes, knees to chest. I hope you guys are sweating at home. I definitely am. Remember, more advanced variation is straightening the legs, then knees to chest, and most important here to engage the lower abdominals is that moment where you curl into one tight ball and you lift your butt off of the mat just for a moment. Especially important if you're straightening the legs out to hover, that you don't let your low back lift off the mat at any point in time. Good, guys. We've just got 10 seconds left. Keep it going. If at any point you need to rest your head and shoulders down, that's okay too. Keep the work going in your low belly. 3, 2, 1. Hug it in. Gonna roll the way over. Getting ready for those forearm plank rocks. Remember, interlacing the hands or separating. Lift the knees off the mat. Here we go, 45 seconds. Pushing out through the balls of the feet. Almost a bit of a tuck of the tailbone. Rounding through the shoulder blades. Stay low here so your shoulders and your hips are in one straight line. So we are getting a little bit of sneaky shoulder working as well. It's not just core. Last 15 seconds left, guys. Good. If that belly starts to sag down, lift it up. Don't let the hips dip low. 5 seconds left. We'll finish it off with our squat jacks. 3, 2, and 1. Knees down. Whew. Roll up, roll the shoulders out. Stand on up. Set it up, feet hips distance apart. So this is our moment where we can really get the cardio in if we want. Hug the knees, get low so your belly is towards the side. 3, 2, 1, 45 seconds. Jack it out and come back down to your squat. Remember, your modification can be stepping one foot out, but then get low again and stepping the other foot out. Make sure when you land back into your squat that you're putting the weight into your heels and you're hugging yourself so you're getting really low and exploding back up if you are choosing to do the jumping jack. Nice, keep breathing. We've got a 30-second rest period at the end of this circuit before we get into the second one. An opportunity to grab some water and to use your resistance band if you got one. Last 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Nicely done, guys. Grab yourself some water. As I said, 30 seconds to rest. Now, if you're choosing to use your resistance band in our second circuit, I'm gonna step into it, pull it up over the knees. Last 15 seconds here. First exercise of circuit number 2, mountain climbers. We're gonna take them to a bit of a twist. So one knee will go across to the opposite elbow and switch, and pulse. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. So cross, 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 pulse, cross, 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 hold. Good, and you can take these as fast or as slow as you like. Just try to find a moment to hold one knee to the opposite arm so you really feel the obliques engaging. Last 20 seconds. You can be stepping it out nice and slow if you want to take it low impact. Twist, twist, pulse. Last 10 seconds. Then I promise we'll get off our hands. We'll come down to our bellies. 3, 2, and 1. Let it go. Tummies to the mat. Keep the band on if you've got it. Arms back by your sides, palms facing towards the ceiling. This is like the pullbacks that we did, the rows, but we're gonna use the legs a little bit more. So float the hands, float your chest and the feet, and let's go. 3, 2, 1, kick your legs. Good. So we're giving our arms and legs a little bit of a break, really firing up the back body. Again, when we're down on our bellies on the mat, make sure that you're looking down as well. Even lift from your legs, out the crown of your head. Should feel the glutes at work here. If at any point you need to relax your head down, just try to keep your legs moving. You can always let the front body go. Last 15 seconds, guys. We'll flip it onto our backs after this. 10 seconds. Whew. I'm feeling my hamstrings all along the back of my legs. See if you can kick a little faster. 3, 2, 1. Take 15 seconds to roll over. Recenter yourself on the mat. Either cactusing the arms to grab the edges of the mat or tucking your hands underneath your hips. Both legs go up. And let's lower one leg to a hover. Keep the opposite leg above the hip. Go pulse, pulse, pulse. Lift the leg, lift your hips, and switch. Let's go, 45 seconds. Pulse, 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 lift. So this is another one where we want to make sure at no point our low back is lifting off the mat. I like personally bending at the elbows here just to try to make sure I can relax my shoulders. This one's all about low belly. It's going to feel a little bit more difficult if you've got the band on the legs. Pulse, 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 and uplift your butt. Last 10 seconds, guys. We'll get into the glutes in a moment. Lift, pulse, 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 lift. 3, 2, and 1. Bring both feet down to the mat. Reach your fingertips so they can about brush your heels. We've got bridge ups with a clamshell. So we're gonna lift our hips off the mat, press the knees apart, bring them back together and lower halfway. Lift, out, together, lower. Here we go. Starting now, 45 seconds. Keep breathing. So you'll notice that I've kind of got robot arms going on here. I do find it is a little bit more supportive in the upper body to bend the elbows and dig them into the mat. So try to keep your butt off the mat the whole time as you're doing these. Never letting them touch all the way down. Good, squeeze. You should be feeling that glute, that booty burn. We've got 10 seconds left, guys. And we've got a variation on burpees. 3, 2, oh no, and 1. Lower down, rock up. So these ones are called Frogger burpees, facing the top of the mat. Turn your toes out and your heels in. Knees press out, get low, get your hands ready. You're gonna land the hands as wide as you can. Hop the feet back, bellies touch the mat, push back up, hop to your hands. Here we go, 3, 2, 1, hop back. Do a wide push-up, hop to your hands. Now modification for this one, You're gonna find that frogger stance here with the toes turned out. Bring your hands down, step your feet back, maybe the knees lower. You come down to your belly, step up. But if you can, take a more traditional push-up, letting the elbows go wide. Try not to crash your belly down to the mat. It's a controlled lower. And then as you push away from the mat to come back up, you spring the feet to your hands. I know these are hard, guys. So remember modification, hands wide, do your push-up, come back up, step it to your hands. Take a moment in the squat. 3, 2, 1. Stand up, breathe. 15 seconds, we're gonna do that circuit one more time through, starting with mountain climbers. Get into position, your plank pose. 3, 2, 1. Go me across, 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 pulse. Pulse. Gonna find your own personal rhythm, whether it's more of a jog or slow step. You're holding on the third time. Yes, if you need to, you might be coming down to forearms and taking it into a forearm plank so you can give the hands a bit of a break. We've got 15 seconds left, guys. Keep that cross body rhythm going. Keep breathing. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come down to bellies. Untuck the toes. Breathe. Reach the arms back by your sides, or remember, alternatively, you can relax the head down and just kick the legs. But if you can, lift both the feet, hover the hands next to your thighs, and lift your chest a little bit. 3, 2, 1, kick your legs. So not necessarily about how high you're kicking your legs. We don't want to take this into too much of a low back bend. Try to keep the feet not too far apart, so these aren't wide kicks. Point back through your toes. Breathe. Remember, neck is relaxed. See if you can press the palms up towards the ceiling if you are lifting the arms a little bit more. Or you're resting your head down, you're relaxing your shoulders, and you're just keeping those feet going. Keep breathing. 3, 2, 1. Roll over into bellies. So, we've got that L pulse and lower. Getting ready here. Arm position of your choice, either sitting on your hands, a bit more support for the low back, or bending at the elbows. Take the legs straight up over the hips. 3, 2, 1, lower one leg. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Up, lift your butt. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Both legs up, lift your butt. And find your own rhythm. This is low belly work. So in that way, we want to make sure that we're not taking him into the low back. We're keeping the low back pressed to the mat, the ribs knitting together, the belly lifting in. That leg that stays up, try to keep it directly above the hip. Last 10 seconds. We'll go for our bridge ups after this. Try to keep your upper body relaxed. 3, 2, feet to the mat on 1. Bending at the knees. Make sure you can about touch your heels with your hands. You can keep the palms to the mat, or bending at the elbows, a little extra support. Remember, we're gonna push the hips up as high as you can. Knees out, in, lower halfway. Let's go, guys, starting now. So a great way to not only engage the glutes, not just max, but meat as well, but also to stretch out the front body. So bridge pose puts you into a really open position from your chest to the tops of your knees. Good way to counter something like a squat or a crunch. Ooh, I'm feeling those. I hope you guys are feeling them as well. We got 10 seconds left. Keep your butt off the mat. Keep it up high. Squeeze, open, lower. 3, 2, 1. Final push. Rock yourself up. Wow. Breathe. You know we got those froggers. So it's a variation of a burpee. If you need to skip the push-up on the last round, then I want you to just hop the feet back and hop to your hands. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Hop back, hop to your hands, or if you can, push up and back. Make sure you lift your hands off the mat for a moment in that frog squat. Remember, you do have the option to lower down with the knees down to the mat and step up. You can also do a mixture of all those things. Maybe one round you're hopping or one round you're stepping. Sometimes you might choose to cut out the push-up and just hop back and forth. 10 seconds. See if you can get in your last 2 rounds. 3, 2, 1. Good. Breathe. Take off your resistance band if you were using one, and meet me in downward dog. Stepping back, relax your head, jog the legs out. Take deep breaths in and out your nose. Step your right foot between the hands this time. Lower your back knee to the mat. Take the right hand on top of the right thigh, push into it and lift your left arm up alongside the left ear. Left hand goes behind your head towards the right ear. So now our left elbow's pointing to the ceiling, and lean to your right a little bit. So finding a side bend, opening up front of left hip, even a little bit of a tricep stretch. We're pushing the thigh away with that right hand. You need a little bit of extra balance. You can tuck your back toes under. You need 2 more deep breaths. Release the head, plant your hands down, step back, downward facing dog, walk it out, and switch sides. Left foot forward between the hands, back knee down to mat or cushion if you need to. Left hand on top of left thigh, press into the thigh to reach your right arm up. Remember, you can keep the back toes tucked or untucked. Bend your right elbow, place the hand behind your head like you're reaching towards the left ear. Push your head back, right elbow points to the ceiling, then you lean to your left. So opening up all along the right side, the front of the hip, a little bit of stretch for the tricep. Maybe it's a little bit shaky after all that fast and furious movement, that's okay. Try to start letting the breath and your energy levels settle. Give me 2 more breaths. Release the hands down, and this time lift the back knee and we'll step it forward and come to seated. Roll down to your backs. I'm gonna flip around this way. Meeting me on your backs. Figure 4 hip stretch. Pick up your right foot and cross it over the left thigh. Press your right knee forward. You're flexing the right foot. We're going for the stretch of the outer right hip. Maybe you're lifting the left foot off the mat, holding the back of the left thigh, or even the shin, just depending what feels all right for your right knee. What helps you to get deep into those tight hip muscles. Pull your shoulders down to the mat. Breathe deeply. Nice. Left foot comes down if you did lift it away from the mat. We're going to slide the right knee on top of the left knee so the thighs are touching. Cactus your arms on your back, bending at the elbows, shoulders, elbows in one straight line, palms to the ceiling. Scoot your butt to the right side of the mat and gently let the knees drop over to the left. So your right knee is on top. Releasing any tension in the low back, focusing on the right side. If that's a bit too much, you can also stack your knees instead of twisting them up. 2 more deep breaths here. 1 more. Back through center. Even out the hips on the mat and switch sides. Left ankle crosses over right thigh. You can stay right here if you're already feeling that deep stretch in the outer left hip, or picking up the right foot, go for that bind, holding the back of the right leg or the shin. Try to keep your tailbone down on the mat. Keep the shoulders pulling back. Left foot is flexed. Left knee should be happy here. Bring your right foot back down to the mat. Left knee over right knee, inner thighs touch. Bend at the elbows, goalpost your arms, scoot your butt to the left side of the mat. Knees will fall over to the right, so the left hip, the left knee is on top. And you can hold right like this, or you can unwind and stack your knees instead if that feels better for your low back. Breathe deeply into left ribs, the side, the back. And come on back through center. Even out your hips on the mat. And find a comfortable shape to rest your body in for the next couple minutes. Whether it's knees knocking in or you're stretching your legs out. And stay here as long as you need, as long as it takes to recover the breath and to feel rested.